am drinking the Kool-Aid, man. Wow, unbelievable stuff. Stick around. Hey everybody, welcome back to Golf Test Dummy, the channel where I use my game to help your game. I apologize for the state of the lab right now. It's kind of in a half transitional phase, but like I said, we're gonna start a review of a brand new swing today. This guy has been making some waves. You've probably heard about him. Some of you guys mentioned him to me. I've since gone down the rabbit hole, done a deep dive, watched a ton of videos, and I'm gonna start reviewing it. The reason that this series might have to be broken up a little bit, however, is because I have a brand new sponsor. Some videos are gonna be coming on that. Also, in case you haven't noticed, I'm wearing some of the new GTD gear. I've got a website that's coming out that's gonna have some of this merch. These shirts, some pants, a pullover, t-shirt, a lot of the things that you guys requested. It's gonna be awesome. These are really great items, and I've put my heart and soul in trying to come up with some things that I feel are really gonna be fantastic for you guys out there. But without further delay, let's jump into this review. All right, so I've got two words for you. Marcus Edblad. Golf. Marcus Edblad. Three words. Marcus Edblad Golf. He's got some revolutionary ideas. I'm not going to get into every one of them on this video. This is going to be sort of a basis, an introduction to. Go to his channel, Marcus Edblad Golf. Give him a sub. Give him a thumbs up. Click the notification bell. Watch all the videos. A few things that you need to know before we start. He promotes a stock draw shot, meaning that all the shots that he tries to hit and the shots that he's trying to get you to produce are a draw, which is the exact opposite, in case you didn't know, of what 85 to 90% of the golfers in the amateur average golfing world do, which is a slice. He feels that a slice is, in his words, stupid. The way that he's getting that is to really get you to exaggerate the in to out swing path or swing path, as he says. So the way that he does that, it's multifaceted, but it's really simple. I'll go through some of it here. First of all, let's just try and throw a shot down range. Got a 6-iron here. All I'm thinking about is bend and then extend out that way, not down the target line. I'm not going to extend this way. I'm going to extend that way out there. And all I'm thinking about is just throwing it out that corner and coming up in my follow through. So 6-iron here. Let's see. Blocked it just a little bit. Not bad though. So that's the line that I want to start it on. But I want it to draw back. So you're ultimately trying to get a push draw. Now, Marcus says that if you don't get the draw, if you get the block or even a slice, it's because you held on too long and you didn't release and let the trail hand take over the lead hand, or you pulled with the lead hand. So I'm just going to think about that right hand throwing to that corner right there. And then I went the opposite. I over drew the ball. This goes into what Marcus talks about a lot. Marcus is a huge, huge proponent of purposely trying to do the wrong thing. Almost like trying to find your boundaries, right? So if you're driving down the road and you hit the guardrail on the right, you know that you went too far right. You can't go that far that right. And then if you go back the other way and you hit the guardrail on the left, you know you can't go that far left. You can't get that on the guardrail. It's almost like Sean Clement's Goldilocks. You hit it right, you hit it left, that helps you find the center. So we're gonna try again, and we're gonna try and hit the center. I think with the first one, I wasn't releasing enough, and I held it off slightly and blocked it. And then I think with the second one, I turned my hands over. I got overactive with my hands. You don't have to turn the hands over. You just let the hands come up naturally, almost with the angle of the club face matching your spine the entire time, which is a fundamental in a lot of the normal conventional wisdom in golf. All right, so let's try again. I'm gonna try and throw it out to that corner, from back here using the trail arm as being dominant. Let it take over, let it outrace the lead hand, and let the toe come straight up. And just think about up, out that way. That way, what he says. Started right, drawing back, still a little out to the right. Two of the things he's really big on is this is going to take time and that you need to understand. So I'm starting to understand where the boundaries are. Now I've just got to invest the time. Oh, that's really dead straight. Hit very well. All right. There it is. Right down the middle. Baby draw, hit the line. Right there, I felt something. I felt something. You can get a little bit too focused on what's happening back here when instead you can think more about extending this way out toward the corner. If you focus on that, this back here will do what it needs to do in order to make that happen. Let's see if that was a fluke. Let's try it again. Nope, there it is. Draw right down the middle. Not quite as long, sounded a little funny. Yep, golf ball's broken. It's another broken golf ball. Okay, but that was it. I really got to focus on going and extending out toward the corner rather than extending toward the target line and rotating. If you focus on the extension, what happens back here will be a subconscious alignment and movement to create that extension where you want to go. So we want to go that way, bend, down, down, extend that way. There it is again. Drawing right back to the center line. Good carry. Carry up 180 plus, probably out to about 185, 190. Yeah, carry 181, distance total of 192. That's going to wrap up this first video. As I said, you've got to go follow Marcus. Tell him Golf Test Dummy sent you. Leave some comments. Go blow up his channel. Subscribe. Let's see if we can't push him past 3,000 subs. I have not talked to Marcus. Marcus is not paying me anything. He doesn't know that I exist. He doesn't know what my favorite color is. This is just me trying to give you some really good advice. Go find Marcus's channel and listen to what he has to say. It's really awesome. And in the coming weeks, as I'm reviewing this, I'm going to try and implement a lot of these things into my swing and see how long it's going to take me to train some of this into me. See just how easy it is. He claims it's super easy and that it's golf instruction you can understand. I'm going to find out. So far, it's pretty simple. So far, it's different from a lot of the other things you hear. It doesn't have a lot of stuff about setup and optimal angles and this and that and the other inflection, the other thing and all this stuff. It's really simplified. I'm going to be putting it to the test. You can follow along with me. Let me know down in the comments below if you've tried this, if you've seen Marcus's stuff, and I'll see you in the next video. Strap yourself in and hang on tight because this is going to be week number 2 of the Marcus Edblad Golf Swing Review. I've got a lot of stuff to share with you today. We're going to try and cram it all into this one video. There's plenty more videos coming, but let's get this one started. Hey everybody, welcome back to Golf Test Dummy, the channel where I use my game to help your game. I've got a new backdrop. It's part of the lab makeover out here. I've been waiting on this for a few weeks, and there's a couple reasons for that. Number one, I wanted to give you something a little bit different to look at. I Figured you were probably tired of looking at the brick wall by now. But the next reason is because of that little logo right up there in the corner for 24/7 Golf. I'm going to have some videos coming explaining some of the BYO system, what they call the Bring Your Own Simulator system. And the reason that I started up this partnership with them is because they are really trying to bring down the cost of home golf simulators to the average golfer. And that really lines up with what I'm trying to do in the entire theme and goal of this channel, which is to prove that, again, golf doesn't have to be hard and golf doesn't have to be expensive. For right now, let's get into week number 2 of the Marcus Edblad swing review. Now, in week number 1, all I did was give you sort of the broad strokes. I talked about some of the cornerstones of what Marcus is trying to get you to do. Number 1, we want to hit a draw as a stock shot. He doesn't even teach the fade. He wants everything to be a draw. Number 2, we're going to really try and work our swing path from the inside out. The inside out. Number 3, we're going to be working with the trail arm. I'm a right-hander, so in this case for me, it's going to be my right arm. But the trail arm is going to guide and control everything. And it's just a simple bend and extend of the trail arm. The theme for today's video is going to be kick convention to the curb. And what I mean by that is this: if you are still trying to employ and somewhere in the back of your mind have conventional golf wisdom and methodology and all of the things that that comes with in the back of your mind somewhere, and you're trying to compare this with that, it's not going to jive. You almost need to go back and reset your brain to 0. The first thing that I want to say that really helped me out, and that's what a lot of this is going to be. This is going to be me sharing some of the things that have helped me along the way so far. The first thing I want to mention is your weight. Conventional golf has you set up sort of 50-50, but with this swing method, you almost want to open up your stance a little bit, open up your body, because it makes it easier to attack from the inside. But the thing that really helped me out was to put the majority of my weight on my trail foot and keep it there. Now, right away, I've lost you. I know you're getting ready to click off the video, but just bear with me. Just bear with me for a minute, okay? If you'll just open your mind a little bit and put it on your trail foot. And then when I say keep it there, automatically a lot of you are going to say, oh, you're talking about a reverse pivot. And a reverse pivot is this way, and then you go that way. This is not a reverse pivot because we're not moving it here and then moving it there. We're putting it here and then we're leaving it there. It's going to seem weird. It's going to fight your instincts. You're going to feel awkward, but just try it. I promise nobody will come running out of the bushes with a giant baseball bat and club you over the head. This one took me a little bit of time. This might not work for you on the very first shot. It might take a little bit of time to get used to because it is foreign. But when you put the majority of the weight on your back foot and you keep it there and you open up just a little bit, it makes it really easy to take the club away inside and then deliver back down and then back up on the other side out to right field. This changed a lot for me. And swing. Now, I tried to swing way out to right field. You can see it's a baby draw that goes right down the target line. Nothing wrong with that ball flight. Nothing wrong with that result. All right, on to the next thing. And again, this is going to seem weird because modern golf instruction is going to tell you the exact opposite. The modern golf swing is all about creating angles, maintaining those angles and maintaining lag, and then using your body's rotation, a focus, actually, in a lot of cases, on rotation in order to get the club squared up at impact. This is not that. This is not trying to avoid rotation and stay with your shoulders in a certain position and never move and just let the swing happen around you. No, this is a lack of focus on rotation. You don't have to intend to rotate. Rotation will happen in this golf swing, but you won't have to think about it. You won't have to focus on trying to rotate. You won't have to intend to rotate. The rotation will happen naturally. Let me demonstrate. All right, so if I set up to the golf ball and my intention is to not rotate, to stay in the same place, it would look something like this, which is weird, and it's not going to work. It's not going to be very powerful, right? If I set up and my intention is to rotate, then I'm going to rotate because I'm focusing on rotating. But if my intention is to make the swing and allow the right hand, or excuse me, my trail hand, to pass my lead hand and get faster and add speed and to get toe up on this side over here, the momentum and everything of the club will actually add rotation, so that if I try to swing to right field, the right corner of this impact enclosure, if I try and swing to the right field over there in that corner, the momentum and my natural athletic motion will actually turn my body and rotate for me. So now we're going to hit a golf ball, and this time I'm going to keep my weight onto the right. I'm going to try and swing out to right field. I'm going to try and stay back on my back foot a little bit longer and until after impact, and you'll see I'll actually rotate and the ball will go fairly down the target line with a little bit of draw. It's not going to go miles off to the right. Here we go. See? Starts a little right of target, starts curving back with a little bit of draw. I tried to swing out that way and it didn't happen, and I actually did rotate because that's part of your natural instinctive athletic ability. All right, I've got plenty more of these videos coming, so I'm not going to get it all in today, but we're going to do one more. I'm going to give you one more of how this swing doesn't match up with convention. I'm going to switch to a 6-iron because it just makes more sense for this demonstration. I did want to show you this, by the way. These are the 5-pocket stretch pants that I'm going to be offering on the website. Look how stretchy these are. I can be like Miguel Angel Jimenez. Look, see how he always does that? And then what's the thing he does where he takes it way back like this too? I mean, you can stretch in these pants. You can move all over. They're just totally, look, Bruce Lee. These pants are so comfortable and so stretchy. No $100 pants, no $120 pants. That's absolutely ridiculous. We're slashing prices here at Golf Test Dummy. So as promised, the last thing, here we go. This one is definitely going to lose all of you. You're all going to hate this one. It's totally fine. You can hate it, but I do want you to try it. Now, I don't know that Marcus teaches this. I don't think this is any of his videos, but this is just my opinion. This helped me out tremendously. This is probably the best tip on this whole video. You have to try it. So I start off with my eyes over the golf ball. I mean, not this way, but I'm looking at the top of the golf ball. When I make my transition going back, I swing to the top, and right here, my eyes and my head actually shift a little bit. My eyes go from being this way on top of the golf ball to where when I get to the top of my swing, my eyes and my head are now actually back behind the golf ball, and my line goes here. I'm looking at a really deep inside quadrant of the golf ball. I take it back and I stay back. There is a little kick with this leg to give me some leverage, but my head and my weight, my upper trunk are behind the golf ball, and I'm really firing out and trying to get toe up on this side and swing up. Every one of you right now is saying, oh my God, this is definitely a reverse pivot. This is falling back. This is going to make you top the golf ball. You're going to hit the top of it because you're going to be falling back so bad. You're going to be swinging up on it. No, trust me. Here I'm set up. I want to think about extending this way, right? So that's what I'm going for. Down the middle, baby draw, carrying out probably 190 is a 6-iron, 187 carry, 205 total. That's another added benefit of hitting the draw. You get a little bit more roll than you do with the fade. More distance equals happier golfers. You know what? Let's have some fun with this one. We're really going to try and get this one out there. So I'm going to hang back, and I'm actually going to have a little bit of pause and stay back behind it, and then bring the right hand down and then up with the toe up on the other side. That is the secret. There you go. Baby draw back toward the center line. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That one's going to go well past 200 yards. Let's see what we get here. Show me. 197 carry, 208. Throughout the course of my channel, I've gone through and tested out a lot of different swing methods and a lot of different drills and a lot of different techniques. I've been able to find relative success with most of them that I try. And I think that the real key and why a lot of people struggle with trying to make swing changes, or like something like this where you're trying to adopt a completely new philosophy, the things that handicap people and really hamstring them and prevent them from making progress are holding on to those old thoughts and trying to compare what they're doing now with what they've always known. Try to really separate those two. Start from zero. Start from zero, start from scratch. It's one of the big reasons that I've been able to take on these different swing methods and produce pretty decent results in a fairly short amount of time. It might be a disaster, but it might also send off a little light bulb in your head that leads you down the path to much better golf. I'm going to leave you guys for now with the promise of plenty more videos on this swing method coming. We're on the path to 10,000 subscribers. I would love your help in getting there. Like the video, comment below, subscribe if you haven't already, click the bell, all notifications so that you don't miss any of the videos, and please share this with your friends, family, and the rest of social media to try and help me grow this channel. I appreciate all of your support. As always, you're the best fans on YouTube, and I'll see you in the next video. Over the past couple of weeks, I've had several of you guys ask for this, so today we're going to deliver the driver, the Marcus Edblad way. Let's get into this. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Golf Test Dummy, the channel where I use my game to help your game. Hopefully I'm going to do that today. This is week number 4 of the Marcus Edblad Golf Swing Review. I've had several of you ask about this particular video. I've been planning on making it for a while now. It is on the driver. Now, I've had my own struggles with the driver, not only just with this swing review, but prior to this. And it's been a little bit of hit and miss for me. As Marcus says, the irons and the driver, you have to make two totally different swings. There are others out there that would say differently, but I tend to stick with what Marcus says because I have found the same to be true for me. Today, I'm going to show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. We're going to go through this driver, and if it comes out to be complete crap, it's going to be crap. But if it's great, it's great. But either way, I'm going to try and work my way through it systematically to produce some really good driver results by the end of this video. Let's get started. Indoor golf simulators are fantastic, and they are revolutionizing golf, and they're becoming more and more predominant in people's homes. If you're interested in adding one to your home, one of the biggest pitfalls for me was choosing the correct projector. I made some mistakes along the way, but you don't have to make the same mistakes that I did. Go to the BenQ website. The link is in the description down below. I'm currently using the BenQ LW500 ST model, which I chose specifically because it is affordable, but at the same time it is golf specific and it's a high performing product. You get up to 30,000 hours on this device in eco mode. It's LEDs, so there's no lamps to change out. The installation is very easy. If I can figure it out, you can certainly figure it out. I've got links in the description down below. BenQ will help you to choose the correct projector for not only your budget, but your space. Tell them Golf Test Dummy sent you. All right, in several of Marcus's videos, he's talked about with an iron, the difference between an iron and a driver is that when it's on the ground, and I've talked about this in previous videos, I've got some out there. I think one was called Universal Truths, and I made several videos on this. But anything that's sitting on the turf, you have to contact ball first and then ground later, meaning your low point has to be forward of the ball. And from what Marcus has said in several of his videos, you're pushing more down with the palm facing more down or forward at impact with an iron, whereas with a driver, he wants you to get a little bit more wristy with it and almost get to a palm up position at impact with the driver. Just hitting some 6 irons to warm up here, and then we'll move on to driver. We're starting off with my TaylorMade M2, which was my driver for the longest time. I've got a stock ProForce V2 shaft in it in the stiff flex. I've seen in a video where Marcus commented that with his gamer driver is actually a regular flex. So that's why I've got the other one over here, which has a much more flexible shaft in it, and we're going to try that. But first, the TaylorMade M2. Oh boy, here goes. Okay, so I know that he says he wants you to kind of think about getting palm up. I've talked about in my follow through, what I like to try and do is get to toe up. That's a big block. It's a fairly solid strike, but that is a big block off to the right. Let's see what kind of yardage we get on this first ball. We're looking at 236.5 carry and 242 total. You're not going to get much roll out of it because it's a block and it ends up in a bunker. All right, swing number 2. Marcus has said that he doesn't want to get the golf ball too far forward, and he doesn't want it to go past his lead hip socket. I've heard him mention that as well. I started off trying to play it more back, but I think I'm going to play it on that lead hip. I definitely want the attack angle to be up, and when I get to the top, I'm trying to really release it more from the top and get the club coming down and releasing down the line sooner. I've heard him put an emphasis on that as well, so let's see. All right, there's another block, but it's not as bad, and it feels pretty solid. Pretty solid. This one's not going to turn out too bad. I've got 244 carry and 256.5 total. If I could turn that over into a draw, I'm positive that I'll get more roll out of it, and therefore I should get more total distance. One more with the TaylorMade M2, and then I'm going to switch over to the BombTech, which has a little bit more of a whippier shaft. Let's see. All right, started down the middle, has a little draw, not as good a strike, but still pretty good. That's going to carry more, and it looks like the total distance is going to roll out to more. So 244 carry, nope, same as last time, 256 total distance. So pretty comparable to the second one. Let's move over to the BombTech driver, get a little bit more whip in that shaft, and see if I get a little bit more out of it because of that. There's a lot of people that that bag on BombTech clubs. I have a good friend that told me that this 2.0, and they just came out with the 4.0, but the 2.0 that says BombTech on the bottom instead of Grenade, he said that this was the best driver he ever had. And he's had expensive drivers and big name drivers. I'm not sure about the irons. I'm not sure about the wedges. I don't know anything about that, but I've been messing with the driver and the 3-wood. Now that 3-wood, I was never even a 3-wood guy, but that 3-wood is awesome. I am in love with that 3-wood, and I know there's a stigma attached to the BombTech brand that says that, you know, oh, that's just cheap crap, and I'm telling you, I have not had that experience so far. It's actually been some great clubs. So let's see what this baby can do. I'm not going to swing any harder. I'm going to set up the same way on the left hip. I'm going to think about trying to get it to the top and then come from the inside and release it, not holding on to it at all. Just release it all from the top and just let it go. Oh no, what? Hang on. Where'd it go? Okay, there you go. All right, we got the draw flight. Just an easy swing. No, not trying to kill it. That's a great result. I mean, I'll take that all day on course. That is a 241 carry, 259 total distance, which I believe may be a slightly longer total distance than the last one. Let's try one more. My iPad's about to die. Let's try it again. Blocked a little bit, but it is drawing. I feel like I'm really trying to release it from the top and let it go. That one's going to roll out a little past 250, so not quite as long as the second one. We got to get one more. All right, again, left hip. Trying to bottom the club out back here and hit the low spot. Trying to make sure that I'm coming from the inside. Make sure that I give it a release. I'm almost trying to release it back here, I feel. And just try to make good solid center center face contact and catch it on the upswing. Let's see. Not as good a contact at all. Might have hung onto that one a little bit longer and it's going to come up shorter. I did get the draw. That was not my best swing. Inevitably, I'm going to have questions from you guys about tee height and also ball position. As I said, the ball position that I'm currently using is on my left hip socket. I think Marcus said in one of his videos that you don't want to really play it any more far forward than that because it makes it more difficult to come from the inside. You almost have to come over and across the top and around yourself to get over to a ball position that's more extreme. Rapid fire here before the iPad dies. I'm going to go Bomb Tech and then I'll go back to TaylorMade and then I'll go Bomb Tech and back to TaylorMade. Going to try and focus on making my low point back here. Ball on the left hip, release the club, catch it on the way up, toe up on the other side. Oh, no. Let's go. Come on. All right, strong draw. Fairly well struck. It's going to carry out. We'll see what we get. That's going out a little over 250 total. That draw helped because the carry was only 240. All right. Now on to the TaylorMade M2. Again, trying to make my low point back here. Release the club, come up. Straight ball flight. Tiny bit of a block, not the greatest contact, but not awful either. It's okay. Look, it landed right beside another ball from previous. 251 total, 241 carry. I want to try and get one more with each. Come from the inside, release it, going up. Very straight ball, slight block. That is, ooh, yeah. Carrying out almost to 250, going out past 250. 245 carry, 257 total. One more, let's go. Struck center of the face. Blocked it, but, oh my goodness, carrying out past 250. If that had been a draw, I got 253 carry, 264 total. If that had been a draw and gotten that roll, that would have probably been out in the 270 range, which for me is big. Well, the iPad finally died, so I guess that's the equivalent of the blinking light at the Oscars trying to tell me to get the hell off stage. So I'm going to wrap it up with this. Take my channel for what it is. My channel is my own personal experiments and exploration into some of the lesser known methods and approaches to golf out there from some of the instructors that may not have as big and prominent a voice as some of the more modern conventional instructors that are out there. I feel like YouTube can sometimes be very unfair and it can leave some of these great instructors and quite frankly great content creators in the dark. And my job, I feel, is to try and shine a light onto those as much as possible, and I hope that I'm accomplishing that. I think that what you see out here from me is a slightly above average golfer's perspective, which can be very helpful sometimes because I'm much closer to the level of golf with the mass amount of golfers that are out there. The biggest majority of the golfers out there, I'm much more their equivalent than some of these high-level players and instructors that are out there, and I feel that maybe you could benefit from being able to see things from my angle and maybe not make some of the same mistakes that I have and fall into some of the same traps. So with that, I'll say goodbye until the next video, and I will see you then. Going to play a few holes on the simulator today, and there's two things that I want to accomplish. I'll tell you what those are. Let's get started. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Golf Test Dummy, the channel where I use my game to try and help your game. And like I said, I've got two things that I want to accomplish out here today. Number one, I've warmed up on the range out here, and I want to take the swing that I've been working on now for, this is week number 5, for the past 4 to 5 weeks. I want to put it through its paces on the simulator, play a few holes and see how it goes, switching between driver and iron and 3-wood and wedges and all the different scenarios that would be found in a normal round of golf. And the second thing that I want to go over is something that I think I've proven to be true to myself that I'd like to share with you guys today. Let's get started. Hands down, the best golf purchase I've ever made was the indoor golf simulator. And with that comes the complications of which projector to use. I'm not very tech savvy, and if you are tech challenged as I am, it can be very intimidating and you can make some mistakes like I did. Avoid those pitfalls and go to the BenQ website. The link is in the description down below. They've got all of the tools that you need there to make a well-informed, smart decision that will fit your budget and your space. This is the LW500ST, which is golf specific. It's very affordable. There's a link specifically for this model also in the website that will take you right to the projector that I use. Go check them out. Tell them Golf Test Dummy sent you. So let's get started here. I'm going to hit a 3-wood off of this tee because I feel like I can control it a little bit better, and plus I don't want to start out with a driver. It's a 372-yard par 4. It does have a little turn to the left, which should favor the draw, but there are trees down the right side, and I don't know if you can pick it out on here or not, but they are right there. So I can't start it too far right. Marcus says if you want the ball to go a little bit straighter and you're playing a shot off of the tee, you almost want to scoop. You give it a little bit of a scoop in some of his videos. But anyway, I played a round with a very good friend of mine this past weekend, and it did not go well at all. We'll come back to that in a minute. Let me hit this tee shot and see if I can get it to fly somewhat straight and maybe favor the left-hand side. Might be okay. Yeah. Hang on. Yeah, it's going to be fine. It's going to bounce back to the right a little bit. That is very good position. 244 with a 3-wood off the tee here. I'll take that all day. We're just going to keep rolling too. No edits today. I've got a new camera, so I shouldn't have to record in bursts and edit nearly as much. Thank you, God. Anyway, I had a question from a viewer this past week, and it's not an uncommon question. As a matter of fact, I've had this question several times, and the question was, when I go out to play golf and I'm not filming or I'm making content and I'm not doing a swing review, what is my swing? What swing do I play on course when I'm not doing a review? It's an excellent question. I've got 128 here with a pitching wedge. Just going to try and find something really smooth in here. Oh, I left it out a little bit right, but that should be okay. Sit down. Check. 130, a little off to the right. Probably going to give me a 2-putt here. Yeah, I'm 28 feet away. Should be a 2-putt unless it's just being salty today. Not 2-putt par. Save the par. So the answer to that question goes into one of the big things, one of the big lessons that I've learned in doing all of these reviews, and it's a message that I try and get across to you guys as much as possible. And that thought is this. If you are going to make swing changes, if you're going to try and make either complete overhauls or a pretty big renovation of your full swing, when you find a philosophy or a teacher or a method or whatever it is that you've decided on that you want to try and put your money and your time into, you can't just do it halfway. It's not like a pull-apart junkyard where you go just find pieces and throw it all together and make some kind of a rat rod or a Frankenstein's monster. I've tried that in the past, and I've been able to make certain things work, but it wasn't without some kind of care and some kind of insight first to put them together. You have to adopt and embrace the entire philosophy. That is step number 1. All right, I've got 167 yards. That is just a little bit more than my normal 8-iron, so I'm going to have to gas this one a little bit, and I hope it doesn't end in disaster. But short of the hole is better than long here, so let's see if I can't really just juice one out there and get it all the way. No, that came out thin and not good. That leads me to the round of golf that I played this past weekend that I wanted to tell you about. It was incredibly embarrassing. It was the worst round of golf that I've played in, well, I don't know. It was absolutely terrible. I had tops, I had fats, I had slices, I had hooks. I lost 3 balls and had to drop. I 3-putted 4 times. I get a 3-putt maybe once every 3 or 4 rounds, and I had 2 back-to-back and 4 total 3-putts. Even my short game let me down at times, and that is really my bread and butter. It was a disaster of a day, and I found myself, as I slunk off of the course and tried to hide under a rock somewhere, I found myself asking the question, you know, what happened? 87 feet here. It's going to probably be a little up a hill. Just try and play a nice little pitch shot up here. See what we can get. Oh man, that checked up really quick. That's going to leave me about 10 feet. That might 1-putt me from here. It might not. We shall see. I'm even par currently. And with this 1-putt, I managed to save par. Okay. So I asked myself the question, what happened? You've been striking the ball so well out here. You've been working now on this thing. I think this is week 5. You've been working on this. What has happened? And it really ties into the question that I was asked, what swing do I use? The problem with doing what I do and changing your swing all the time, over and over. And this is why I tell you guys to try and avoid it and don't do this. This is the worst thing you can do for your golf game. When you change your swing around that much, sometimes incredibly drastically, and you do it at the frequency that I've done it, you don't have a golfing identity. Your identity, it doesn't exist. You're like Bruce Willis and the Jackal. There is no just him. There is only the characters that he becomes. So my golfing identity is constantly in crisis. When you stand over the golf ball, you need assuredness, you need confidence, you need very few thoughts, and you just need to go into your performance zone. With me, there's all these doubts, there's all these things, all these old swings and methods and visions and feelings that I've had of all these different swings, they have a way of flooding back into my brain, and it can really wreak havoc. Okay, we've got a short par 5 here, but you have to favor the left-hand side. You have to for your second shot. The trees on the right will block you out. I'm going to play driver, and I'm just going to let one go loose here. I want to see if my driver video from last week, if I've learned anything. I want to try and release it. Marcus says to get the draw, you need even more release, and I need to be hitting up on the ball, and I really want to be thinking the palm coming up and smacking the bottom of the table in front of me to get that full release. Okay? On the front lead hip, really want to catch it up, swing inside to out, and let it rip. It's going to turn over, started down the right, it's going to turn over to the left. Did not have the greatest contact on it, but it's okay. It's in the middle of the fairway. I don't know that I got it far enough left to go for this one in 2. I might have to just lay up, but that's okay. Not the purest strike in the world, but I'll take it. All right, let's see what we got here. I've got 202 left to the hole. I'd have to go over those trees to get out there, so I think I'm just going to play a 7-iron kind of out here to the left of the trees and leave myself a nice little pitch shot coming in. So just a 7-iron layup. But my identity doesn't really exist. I don't have one. And that is just, it is a game killer. It is a game killer. So number 1, the first thing, do not do what I do if you want to play good golf. I sacrifice my golf game for a channel. I made that decision a while back. I said, well, you know, I'm never going to be an extreme high-level player. I'm never going to be elite, so I might as well go ahead and try and make a really good YouTube golf channel, which, you know, I hope that I do. So I knew that I was giving that up. But if you want to play good golf, stick with one thing. And when you choose that one thing, this is 36 yards. I don't have much green to work with here. I'm going to have to stop this quick. We're going to have to get it up pretty high. When you choose that one thing, embrace it wholly and fully. Beat a right club. Sit. Oh, I carried it just a little too far. Played it too safe. I did not want to end up short. You do not want to be short-sighted on this game and having little short chips. They do not. Okay, 2-putt par. I kind of missed an opportunity there. But when you find something that has promise and you try it, you have to give it time. Number one, that's another thing Marcus is saying. You can't just go out for a half a bucket of balls or a bucket of balls, try it and expect these just great results and the angels to sing and the heavens to open up and it just be presented to you on a silver platter. No, you have to invest weeks and months and possibly even years to hone it and make it something really awesome. It'll take shorter for some people, it'll take longer for others, but you have to embrace it, you have to give it time, and you have to commit. Don't piecemeal it together. 157, I'm gonna play a nice little 8-iron here. Don't try and piecemeal it together. Really stick with the entire philosophy. Don't hook it too much. That might be pretty good. Yep, not too bad. Just stopped a little short. That's okay. I just took some off of it and left it a little short. 151, 26 feet from the flag gives me a 2-putt. All right, what do you say? You want to play one more hole? Let's play one more hole. By the way, if you guys are going and following Marcus, he's putting out some great videos right now. He's actually got a 5-part series that he just started on trying to master the irons and have some really good ball striking. There's some great information in those videos so far. I think at this point he's released 2 out of 5 and you can be looking for the rest of them. All right, 3-wood, just trying to go for like a 240 shot here, 250. It's okay to start it out to the right. Be good, be good. Yikes. Yeah, stop. Just trickles into the rough. That's about where I wanted it. I don't want to flirt with those bunkers, and I'd rather just hang back and leave myself a little bit longer shot rather than risk going into that bottleneck with those bunkers. Okay, 156. The rough is not going to take much off, but it will take some spin off. So we're looking at an 8-iron here. Might have come up a little chunky. It did, but I'm going to get a little roll maybe. And that'll be safe. Probably give me a 2-putt from there from about 14 feet, 7 inches away. I'm currently even par. That should leave me at even par through those few holes. Guys, I appreciate you following along with me. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so and click the little bell off to the right and select all in the notifications so that you can get every video, a notification for every video. Sometimes YouTube will also play tricks with you, so be checking with the channel to see if you've missed anything. Some of you guys are missing out on some videos, and go follow Marcus for sure. If you haven't already, go check him out. It's really simple golf instruction. I'm trying to work my way through it now. This has been week 5, and I'll see you in week 6. Deep dives and in-depth swing reviews like this one don't come easy. There's a lot of work, there's a lot of practice that goes on behind the scenes off camera. We're going to talk a little bit about that, as well as what I am practicing and what I'm working on out here. And I've got some upcoming videos that I think you'll be really interested in. Stick around. Hey everybody, welcome back to Golf Test Dummy, the channel where I use my game to help your game. This video is going to be all about practice. Now, it's going to be practice through the lens of the Marcus Edblad Golf Swing Review. This is week number 6. Time has absolutely flown by, but I want to show you a little bit about what all goes into a long-term deep swing review like I do on this channel, and I've done several times in the past. I feel like there's a lot of things that you guys don't get to see, and I want to try and shine a light on that out here today. On camera, you see me for about 10 minutes per video. This is video number 6 in this series, so after this video, you'll have seen me working on this for about an hour. What you don't see is me off camera. Now, I have the simulator out here in the garage. It is absolutely a crucial tool for my busy life to be able to work on all of these swing changes that I'm trying to make. I probably come out here 5 to 6 days a week, anywhere from an hour and a half to 3 or 4 hours at a clip. I'm putting in a lot of effort and a lot of time. If I was only going out and hitting, let's say, 1 or 2 buckets of balls a week to work on this, you wouldn't see anywhere near the level of results that you see in my videos. But if you don't put in the time to develop it and you don't have the patience and the work ethic and the dedication to it, it's going to take much longer and you may not see the results. There is no magic bullet. We have to put in the hard work that it takes to develop these skills. All right, now that that's out of the way, what am I working on? Well, to start coming out here, I've got to warm up. I'm getting older. My bones, my muscles, my joints, they are not what they used to be. So I've got to start out with some small, just pitch shots, just quarter swings, half swings. I've got a 9-iron in my hand. I just start out with that. And what I'm trying to do here is just establish good contact. So that speaks to one of the things that that Marcus talks about is trying to get the low point controlled and in the right place. So with an iron, any club really for that matter that's sitting on the turf, you got to have the low point at the golf ball or just after the golf ball on the target side of it. When Marcus demonstrates an iron, he talks about pushing with the trail arm. And when he shows it, he's even mentioned this in videos, and he's talking about an iron, he shows his palm, his trail palm, not fully released, but still sort of in that downward angle, pushing into the ground. He talks about pushing into the ground. Everybody plays sports with their hands, fishing, hockey, tennis, golf, it's all the same. And that the body will facilitate what the hands are trying to do. So I'm really focusing and establishing in the beginning what I want to do. I'm laying down the law. Push. The next thing would be, okay, well, what happens over here? Again, going back to the basics, when I started, I really wanted to get into that toe up finish position. I really wanted my follow through on the other side of the ball to be toe up and kind of going for the right corner of this simulator screen. For me, it's the right. There you go. And I'm getting a little bit of a draw. I'm still not full swing yet. Really, I just went to a half swing or what felt like a half swing. And then from here, I'm trying to push it into the ground, inside to out, and not turn the toe over and not hold it open either by pulling with the lead hand. I want the toe to come up. Let's see if I can get one to go left. Then I've turned the toe over too much and I haven't gone enough inside to out. I've gone inside to in, which is not correct. And I start to really kind of learn from those mistakes. You can learn just as much from the incorrect shots as you can from the correct shots a lot of times if you know what you're looking for. Baby draw, working right back to the center. How you release is all about your timing. Bend and extend. And your body will support what your hand is trying to do. Everything, your torso, your legs, your feet, your weight shift, everything happens because of your intention to push. I try and get here and release almost instantaneously from the top. But I get the toe up on this side. I tried to release that as soon as possible. That is right down the line. It's a baby draw. The contact felt fantastic. And I'm getting my distances up. Now I'm starting to get warm. Let's go to the hybrid. What's different about the hybrid than, say, the 6-iron or the 9-iron in my bag? The ball is still sitting on the turf. It's still not on a tee, meaning that I need my low point to be at or after the golf ball. All right, now there's a good high ball flight with a tiny little draw, but started right and stayed right. So what does that tell me? If I read that ball flight according to this approach, this way of swinging a golf club, what does that tell me? It tells me that I either held it off and I used too much lead hand, meaning I came through like this, or I didn't release it soon enough. Those two problems could be related. Because if I release and come toe up on this side, then I shouldn't be pulling with the left hand. That's a little better. Still not there. It's not the greatest contact in the world. That's better. Much more down the right path. It's got the baby draw. The contact was not ideal, but that is a much better result. It's much more down the intended path with the intended flight. So I have to keep working on this. I know now where my problem areas are and what I need to focus on in order to keep grinding that out and drilling it until it snaps and I go, oh, okay, now I feel it. Now let me work on ingraining that. That brings us to the driver. Now there is something very different. This is not like a 6-iron. This is not like anything sitting on the turf. This ball is teed up. Personally, I have a 2-inch tee. I've seen Marcus use 4 and 5-inch tees. Your preference is probably going to be slightly different than that. But what is different about the driver? What am I working on? Honestly, this has been the hard one for me to get. I'm seeing in a lot of the comments that this is a hard one for you guys to get as well. Your low point has to be in a completely different place. Now, Marcus talks about his being about 18 to 24 inches behind his golf ball. If your low point is at or after the golf ball when it's on a tee and you're hitting driver, whew, man, you're going to struggle. So I'm thinking about that low point. With this, releasing it as soon as possible. Releasing it as soon as possible is a huge key. All right, there you go. That is, it started right, it went left, it's not long. Contact was not great, but it's not a block. Let's try again. Now that's high. It's going to be a decent little carry distance. Went a little right, so maybe I could use a little bit more release on that one, but that was better struck. That's 232 carry, 242 total. One of the things I really want to do with my driver is not only eliminate those blocks, and I want to have that high draw all the time. I'm working on that. The other thing I really want to work on in the coming weeks is getting more distance, meaning that I should be able to speed it up and release it faster. Release it faster. That's the key to building the distance that Marcus talks about. Now there's your block. That is a very high shot. That is struck really well. That is a block. It's going to get no roll whatsoever because it didn't have the draw and it landed in a bunker. But you're looking at 243 total. The thing that's really great though, the thing that's really encouraging is that the contact is good. When I struggle with the release, a lot of times my contact is just awful. So I really want to get here and release and get the toe up. And then I should get the flight that I want, combine it with a good strike. It's very high, decent strike, blocked out to the right. That's the things that I struggle with the driver. Now, oftentimes when I am working on the driver and I'm trying to make a correction, I'll end up with shots that don't even look remotely like a skilled golfer. It's important to say that that is going to happen as well. That happens because you're trying to rewrite the programming. So for me to come out here and top one or pop one up or just block one off the planet, it's going to happen. Don't give up. Just know that there's things you can do about it. Nothing is unsalvageable. You can fix everything. Read your ball flights. If you blocked it or if it slices, you could have been pulling too much with the lead hand. You're not releasing enough. Maybe it's your aim. But for me in here, I know that I'm aiming correctly and I want to try and get this to go straight. That's much better. High ball flight, starts right, it's curving back to the left. That's really not much roll because I'm sending it into the stratosphere. But I can play with that all day. The only thing I need to work on is getting that number up. And from what Marcus tells me, if I can release it faster, that's going to give me the distance. Guys, I got a thought. Let's try something. It's going to be slightly interactive. What I want you to do is take the next 3 to 4 weeks, and I'm going to do the same. I'm not going to post videos about this for the next 3 to 4 weeks, but just know that I am going to be working every single day on developing this. When I come back after a 3 to 4 week break from this review, I want you to see my results. I'm hoping that I can show you excellent driver results, a much more consistent iron game, and a better looking swing that has even more distance built into it. I'm going to take that time to really focus on grinding it out, and I'd like you to do it with me. I look forward to seeing you then. Again, if you haven't gone and seen Marcus's channel, go check him out. It's incredibly helpful. He's got lots of fantastic videos. Give this video a like down below, and I'll see you